people who are alcoholics write 5 pages, 7 pages. I wrote 500. I wrote 500 and 450 were covered with tears about my father. And I had to get it out. And I recommend writing for all of you and not throwing it out. They tell you in AA, throw out your right. No. I sold them and sold them and sold them. And you want to keep them for you anyway, for memories. So now what do I do with 500 pages about my life? I wanted a book. I wasn't a writer. I went to UCLA. So then I'm back in New York at a friend's. And so I read in the paper Norman Mailer is speaking at the Thalia. It's a movie theater. And he did a movie called Maidstone. My ego said he'd be a good editor. He's the Pulitzer Prize winner. He qualified. So I went up one snowy night to the Thalia, and there was one seat left which had to have my name on it. God wanted me to meet Norman, and afterwards he said, and there were boos. People booed him. Anyone know Norman Mailer? Have you heard his name and his books? And any of the books you remember? Executioner's Song, Armies of the Night, and in any event, so I go back to meet him and I write a note. I'll invite him to the cheeseburger at the Lenox Hill Coffee Shop the next day. I have a manuscript I want him to read. Well, sure enough, he showed up, and I have this book under my arm, a snowy day. He comes and he reads it, and I'm shocked he shows up. And he opens it like, you know, the I Ching, he just lets it fall open. He didn't start in the beginning. And for 1 hour he read, and as he read, I felt myself developing feelings for him. Because when you write, your words are they're very intimate. And for somebody to care about my writings really made me feel he cared about me. So he's reading it, and after an hour, he leaves, and he kisses me on the lips, and he says, I'm coming to New York and in Hollywood in 6 months, and I'll call you. And I was going to Hollywood the next day, and sure enough, he called. For 9 years, he called once a week. And I recorded the early conversations because they were writing lessons, and he allowed me to. And I later sold them to Harvard. My archive with Norman is in Harvard. And so he comes, and he comes to the Bel Air Hotel to promote Tough Guys Don't Dance, and in that June. And is that your phone? Whose phone is that? It's all right. You can answer it.
I don't have one.
I like phones.
We'll call back.